Hello, my name is Caden. This is Castle Tutelage, your home defense network. Today's topic, how will the prosecutor evaluate your case? Now, we're talking about after action, that you have had some kind of a conflict, a gun was involved, you may have shot someone, you may have brandished, that kind of scenario. And I just want to talk a little bit about the prosecutor and how he'll evaluate your case. And it really depends on your relationship with the other person and your behavior. And I've discussed a little bit about this on my other channel, but I haven't really discussed it here. And stuff you put in your Facebook, stuff that you blog about, stuff that you put on YouTube, and even your comments on YouTube are need to be muted. Any comment that you write, it really needs to be about that aspect of what if you do have to defend yourself, whether it's in your home or in a CCW situation. And I'm going to be going through all those, and I'm going to be discussing my main pet peeve about YouTube. Okay, the prosecutor will want to know: does the timeline include anything that shows that you are the aggressor? It could be 2 months ago, especially if you have your bitter rival and you just don't like some guy and you have it in your timeline, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, that Joe Smith is a douchebag. And because he's a douchebag, I'd like to put a gun to his head. Even not that extreme. I wish he would die. That kind of a thing. So the prosecutor is going to go, if you have an armed conflict with somebody, the prosecutor is really going to want to know that. Do you know the other individual, and is there any story of bad blood? Again, we just got into it. If you have a verbal altercation with somebody, that is the person that you need to stay away from. You need to go out of your way not to have some kind of verbal conflict, especially if you are a CCW carrier, and especially if you are carrying and that same person is in that area. So again, it cannot be documented on Facebook, YouTube, blogs, whatever, birthday cards, whatever. You key scratch his car that he's a douchebag, whatever. What kind of individual are you? What do your friends, ex-friends, neighbors, and coworkers say about you? And that includes ex-wives, ex-girlfriends, ex-husbands, mistresses, whatever. If they can't say very good things about you, well, you're going to be seriously behind the power curve. You need to be nice to everyone. The Minnesota nice, you need to be very nice around them. You can't be overtly aggressive against people because they're going to be character witnesses, and that is going to be a determination if the prosecutor is going to be favoring in your case or against your case. What's on your Facebook or MySpace page? I don't know why. I've been hearing a lot of articles about MySpace, so I just put that in the notes. Again, the name of your YouTube account is key. There are several YouTube account names that are questionable in nature. I'm not going to be naming any of them. There are some very prominent ones, and then there are just, the guys who just make comments here and there. There is a very large degree in scope. This example, a butterfly lover is not going to be very disparaging. MFs die with a gun? Well, that's going to be a perception that the prosecutor is going to look at and say, we're going to have to take a look into this guy a little bit more. Is he going to be a bully? Is he going to be aggressive towards other people? And you go from there. Okay. So the other notes I have here is aggressiveness, belief in vigilantism, okay, and gang activity. If you're doing your gang signs on YouTube, well, if you are vigilante in some degree, that especially if it's in your YouTube videos, or even it could be your comments on other people's channels that you really need to take a look at. Are you considered a bully or aggressive? Are there any witnesses, prior arrests, or any documentation, including anything that you've written or posted, emailed, blog, text, or tweeted that would make you the perception that you are a bully? Again, those voicemails on your ex-girlfriend's phone, the texts that you send, the blogs, the comments, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the MySpace, if anyone uses that anymore. Did you pass or fail the reasonable person test, including whether or not you are used a reasonable level of force based upon the circumstances? Again, we've talked a little bit about use of force. If a 90-pound, 4'10" woman was coming at me with her fist, well, I'm not going to be drawing out and going here because I'm 6 foot, 280-pound fat guy. Okay, the reasonable expectation is to the point where great bodily harm isn't there. Now, if that same 4 foot 10-inch, 80-pound woman came up and kicked you in the nuts and dropped you to the ground, that's still not great bodily harm. You may be wanting to throw up in your pants because both nuts went into your stomach, and guys, you get kicked there or whatever. You have that aching, nauseating, wanting to throw up kind of a scenario. That's still not to the level of great bodily harm. Even when you're on the ground when she has a fist. Now, if she has kicked you in the nuts, you're on the ground, and she's standing over you with a bat, well, again, this is not legal advice. Do not take this as legal advice. I am not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be a lawyer. However, that's something that you may want to discuss with your lawyer about, that you are on the ground, your nuts are bleeding, she has a bat over you, and you're saying, don't hurt me, that kind of a thing. At that point, can lethal force be used? So that's something that you need to go over with the scenarios. That is something that you really, needed to consider. Oh, I had a burrito earlier. Oh, foosh. Do they believe that you have met all the 4 deadly force criteria and meeting the timeline? We talked about the 4 pillars. I'm not going to get into the 4 pillars again. That's on a previous video. Was there any alcohol in your blood? And if so, does that affect your reasonable person? Some states has it where any alcohol, your level is diminished. State of Minnesota, it is 0.04. And to be perfectly safe, don't drink. Yes, just because the law allows you to drink, and since I'm a 280-pound fat guy, 1 beer is not going to go to the level of 0.04. But again, if you are that 4 foot 10, 80-pound woman, an entire beer, you're going to be well above the 0.04. So when you become a permit holder, you really have to make a decision: drink or not carry. One of the two, not both. Okay. What statements did you or the police make immediately after the incident? Well, again, that is something that you need to really talk about with your lawyer. And what I have done is, and I'm going to be making a video on it, my lawyer has given me this card, and it has what I should do on it, what the statement should be, his phone number, that kind of thing. And I'll be discussing that a little bit more in depth on another video. Now, it's going to have to be a little bit mitigated. If you are in a stand your ground state, and again, this is not legal advice. This is for information only. The stand your ground laws states you're going to have to be compromised a little bit. You're going to have to give the police officer a little bit of something to go with, especially if you just shut up. They're probably going to just arrest you and shift out everything. But if you say something to the fact, I was afraid with my life that he was going to kill me. I'm a little bit shaked up right now, and I don't want to talk right now until I've spoken with the lawyer, and I'm just too shaken up. and then ask if you're going to be able to go home. Compared to if you don't have a stand your ground state like you do here in Minnesota, that you just need to shut your pie hole. You cannot say anything. Again, police are legally allowed to lie to you. Don't say anything in this type of state. You just bring out your card like I do have, and you do the statement, and you're going to be pretty shaken up anyway. You may be a little bit nervous, and any little thing that you say or do may be taken out of context, and you're going to be totally screwed. Okay. What did the police uncover during the search of your car or at home? Based on everything that you have gone through, what I've laid out there, those are things that the prosecutor is going to do to evaluate your case after a shooting has taken place. You need to make yourself as godlike, as Mother Teresa as possible. And again, when you're having tattoos, die and eat the rich, or tattoos are a big thing. If you have glorifying guns of tattoos, that is something that's going to be hurting you in the long run. Your Facebook, YouTube, come on guys, the stuff that people are saying on YouTube's in the comments, take those out of context. All the prosecutor and investigators are going to do is cut and paste those, put it in your file, and say, look at Joe Smith here. Look all the crap that he's been saying on YouTube. Look what his YouTube name is, or his videos. Those are something that you really need to take a look at. You need to be at a higher standard than the rest of the nation, the non-permit holder. So again, this is for general information only. This is not legal advice. This is something that you put in the back of your head and go research a little bit more for. Now, people, again, a lot of people are training for the shooting, okay, or training how to not get into that situation. But the biggest thing that people don't take into consideration is the aftermath. And that is something that you really need to take a look at. You need to spend a little bit of time on that also. Again, my name is Caden. This is Castle Tutelage, your home defense network. I hope this helped.